All right, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Warm-up 54 is on the screen. Let's get started, please. That shouldn't take you long. Copy and... All right. All right, good communication. Very good. All right, here we go. Number one. What numbers are we going to use for each of the functions? That is correct. 1 and 2. Tell your neighbor why 1 and 2. Because of the bracket. Bracket says you include 1, and what's in between 1 and 3? 2. So let me do that for this one. We got f of 1 equals 2 to the 1 plus 3. That's 2 to the 4th power, which is 16. Let's do it again now to f of 2. 2 to the 2 plus 3, which is 2 to the 5th, which is 32. Or 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Got that, Miguel? All right. Next. Let's do the same thing now for base 10. We got f of 1 equals 10. 1 plus 2. That is 10 to the 3rd, which is 1,000. F of 1, oh my bad, f of 2 equals 10 to the 2 plus 2, which is 10 to the 4th power, which is 10,000. Are we doing good? Yes? Number 2. Let's graph that cubic. We got 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 8, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 8. Something like this. And then, according to this, where are we going to move that to? Tell your neighbor, please. Where are we going to move that to, according to that? Let me put a little cubic here. All right, good communication. Let's go with Jaime. Where are we going to move that to? Left 3, up 4. So left 3, up 4. So it's going to be somewhere up here. We good, yeah? Yes, Mr. Q. Number 3, A, B, and C. 3A. Tell your neighbor what you got for 3A, and then Jaime's going to pass that one to someone. 3A. What'd you get for 3A? Jaime, pass someone. Julian, what'd you get? 1 over A to the 3rd. That is correct. How about B, Julian? 1. All right, guys, show your neighbor what you got for C, and then Julian's going to pass someone. 3C. Let's see what you did. See what I did there? Let's see what I... Anyways. All right. Not bad. Good communication. Pass someone, Julian. German. What'd you get? What? All right. What is the exponent on 4, everyone? 1. So you distribute the negative 2 to the exponent of 1 and to the exponent of negative 5. So this becomes 4 to the negative 2 over b to the what? Negative 2 times negative 5 is 10. Okay. However, can we have a negative exponent? No, so it's 4 to the positive 2, b to the 10, and what do we write on top? 1. Now let's go one more step. Today we're going to add one more step. What is 4 squared? And we're done. Yeah, all we have to do is simplify the exponent. Last but not least, 3 to the x minus 4. Tell your neighbor what you got for that one, and then we're going to have someone walk us through the process on this one. All right, German, pass someone. Leo, walk us through this one. Okay, we've been doing these for 3 weeks on the warm-ups. Help them out. Go with Carlos. Tell me what to write. Go with Gio. 3 to the power of x times. Yes. Then 3 to the power negative 4 on the bottom, but make it a positive. All right. So then 3 to the x over. It's not big. 81. Hands if you got that. All right. So, not bad, not bad. Before I continue. All right. Thank you for sending that in. Copy the agenda, please. Warm-up 54 done. We're in the middle of rational functions. Today, hopefully, we wrap this up. Or, hold on, let me do that differently. Hopefully, today we wrap this up. See what I did there? Pretty good, right? And tonight's home plate, 8 problems only. Last night were 6 of them. Huh, Miguel? All right, all right. Okay, we good? Once again, warm-up 54 done. Rational functions. And 8 problems, graphing only. And also, just a heads up, guys, we're having our final, I think we're starting next week. And also, you have a benchmark coming up also next week. However, on the last week of before going on vacay, I am checking your binders and notebooks for organization. That is 25% of your grade. That means that's 2.5 letter grades. Which means, how many warm-ups shall you have? 54 up to right now, including lessons, including notes on those lessons. Yes, yes, sir. Nice. All right, so you have plenty of time from now to then to get those notes organized from someone else. So you have buddies in this class, especially people that are very organized. Well, get together with them. You need to have your notes. Yeah, you can't go just sitting there and doing nothing. Right? Or you can't just get your notebook and throw it away. Wow. All right. Next, copy this code to access the home plate for tonight. 5Z, 3P9. Write that down. 5Z, 3P9. Once again, 5Z, 3P9. Write that down. All right? We good? All right. Last night's home plate, you already went to Canvas, turned that in. Look at today's home plate. Let's go. All right, so I can write, solve, and graph rational functions. I can write, solve, and graph rational functions. Write that down at the bottom left of your graph paper. We're going to go straight into graphing, but I just want to do a quick recap to see where you've been. I can write, solve, and graph rational functions. I can write, solve, and graph rational functions. Write that down at the bottom left of your graph paper. And once again, all the graphs that we've been using in class, guys, you can just slip them into your notes or tape them or glue them or something. Make sure they're organized in your notebook or binder. Mm-hmm. What's that? Oh, I said that earlier. Oh, you mean in days at that time? Because right now it's 11:21. It's still early. That was good, right? All right. So, rational functions. Tell your neighbor, what two things do a rational function need to have? What two things? What are the critical attributes? Two things that rational functions need to have. All right, good conversation. Allison, what do rational functions need to have? An equal sign and a fraction. That is correct. And you guys already have those notes. Is that correct? Yes. I gave you guys steps. I gave you guys the general form. We talked about asymptotes. We were vertical, horizontal. Well, today, dun, 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 we get into the diagonal, slant, or oblique asymptote. Okay? And asymptotes, you guys know that K is our horizontal, and it looks like that. And H is our vertical, which looks like that. We got this, yes? Yes, I see you. And then we did this one yesterday. We did this one yesterday, and we know how to write an equation from the graph. And then from there, we got into the new f of x, which is the squared denominator, yes? And then this, and that's where we stopped. So, to get us back on track, copy this one. Example 3 super duper Q. Use one of the small ones in the back. G of x equals 4 over x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus 5. And once again, right now we're not worried about domain and range. We already practiced that. We're just graphing. All right? So, remind your neighbor, what is the first step? First step. What do we do first? Yes, graph f of x. So our f of x is 1 over x, but let's see, does this denominator have a squared? Yes, so you put a squared on that. And we go with our HA at 0, 0. Our VA also at 0, 0. My original point is at 1, 1. And at negative 1, 1. And yesterday I said this one I call it what kind of graph? J low. The J and the L. You guys see that? J low, yeah. All right. So from there, we need to change this one a little bit. So let's rewrite this. So I write G of x. What needs to go on the numerator only? A 1. So we can't have a 4. So where do we move the 4 to? The front. So we write 4 over here, 1 on top, and the plus 5. Give me a second. Good morning, Mr. Q. All right. Next. Tell your neighbor what your noodle wants to do with this trinomial. We got 9 on top, negative 6 on the bottom. What two numbers multiply give me positive 9 that when you combine them give us negative 6? Negative 3 and negative 3. That is correct. Negative 3 and negative 3. Or in other words, x minus 3 squared. I have a good one. All right. So now that we got that, tell your neighbor we're going to move all this to according to that. Where do we move it to? Scarlett. Yes. That's what we're going to see today. Let's go. Very good. All right. Where are we going to move this to? Allison, pass them one. Natalia Castro. Ooh, 3 up. 3 right, 5 up. So 3 right, 5 up. So now my new asymptote is here. and here. And technically, my point is here and here. Is that correct? However, what does this tell us to do with those 2 points? Tell your neighbor. What does that tell us to do with those 2 points? All right? So instead of being 1 step away from the asymptote, how many steps? 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up there. Are we doing good? From 1 to 5, I'll come to bar you with ease. Where are we at? 5 4s, 5 4s. Yeah, we should have practiced those last night. Is that correct? Yes, Mr. Q. All right, let me send you a screen so you can send me your notes. Give me a second. All right. So far so good. But today we're moving on to something new. Y'all ready? So copy this one. And this one, let's copy it. Yeah, use one of those small ones. That's fine. Focus, please. Example 4. G of x equals 1 over x squared minus 36 plus 3. Write that down. Write that down. It's a little different, just a tiny bit, not too much. However, the process is still the same. Tell your neighbor what is the first step. F of x equals 1 over x. You check the denominator. Does it have a square? Yes. So you put a square on that. So you know what kind of graph you're looking at. Yes? So let's start at 0 for my horizontal asymptote, our HA. Vertical, also at 0, our VA. Since it's a squared at 1, 1, and at negative 1, 1. There it is. Okay, next. Where is this going to be moved to? According to this, we're moving it 3 up. However, look up. This is not going to go 36 to the right. You're like, why not, Mr. Q? Because it's not in parentheses form, factored form. Look up. Look at the previous one. Wasn't this in parentheses? Inside of parentheses, we have the x minus 3. That's where we were able to move it to the right. So what do we do with this kind, Mr. Q? Well, for this one, look up. Take x squared minus 36 and set it equal to 0. Let's solve. Plus 36 plus 36. X squared equals 36. Question, how do we cancel this squared? Square root, yes, to both sides. So, x equals 6. Are we there? However, when we do square roots, isn't one positive and another one negative? Yes, plus, minus. Question, what is 6 times 6? 36. What's negative 6 times negative 6? 36. Okay, so let's rewrite this. Here we go. I'm going to change to blue. G of x equals 1 over x plus 6 and x minus 6. Now, you had a colleague of yours earlier say, Mr. Q, what if the numbers are not the same? Good question. So here we go. Here it goes. Y'all ready? So first of all, we know it's going 3 steps up. Is that correct? So let's make that one 3, which is right here. Do that in red. Next, this one is going 6 to the right, and this one is going what? 6 to the left. You're like, what, Mr. Q? Yeah, now we have 2. Watch. X plus 6 equal to 0. Minus 6 minus 6. We're moving it to negative 6. Plot a point at negative 6. The other one. X minus 6 equals 0, plus 6 plus 6. The other one is positive 6. So, let me pause the music. Is everybody there so far? All right, next. Look up. Now that we have our HA and our VAs, where shall I place these 2 points? Well, let's see, where's this one at? From our vertical asymptote, it's where? 1 up and 1 to the right, is that correct? So let me go over here to my vertical asymptote. So I go where? 1 up and 1 to the right. Next, I go to the other asymptote. And where's this one at? 1 left and 1 up. So 1 left, 1 up. And are we done? No. Here goes the last part. Now that we split up our vertical asymptotes, instead of 1, we have 2. Let's fill up this space. Look up. Start from here. Get close to that asymptote. Close to this asymptote. And there you go. All right, here goes the process one more time. What did we do first? F of x equals 1 over x squared. There it is. Next, we said we're going to go 3 up. So we got our our HA at positive 3. So I'm going to take this so you guys can see it. Our HA is g of x positive 3, which is that one. Then we needed to find our VA. Our VA. What is our VA? X equals and x equals. So what did we do with this? Set it equal to 0. And we got a positive 6, negative 6. We rewrote it, set each one equal to 0, and solved. That's how we got our VAs. That one and that one. And then to graph, once again, we go to our first asymptotes, and we go 1 up, 1 to the right to get that one. We go to the one on the left. It's 1 up, 1 to the left to get that one right there. And for the in-between, you just graph it an upside down graph. Huh? Which one? I'm sorry? Oh, it's just to fill in the space. For right now, you don't need any points. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. From 1 to 5, what comfortable are you with that so far? Where are we at? 3s, 4s, 3s, 4s. Okay. Send me your notes, please. Let me send you the screen. Give me a second. All right, let's do another one together. Copy this one. Example 4Q. G of x equals 1 over x squared minus 64 minus 5. And I'm going to be ahead of you. What is my first step, everyone? I've graphed f of x equals 1 over x, and I check the denominator. Does it have a squared? Yes, so I put a little squared. So, at 0, 0, 0, 0, a point right here, a point right here. All right, some of you are just sitting there not taking notes. You should be graphing this. So step one is done. So where are we going to move all that to, according to this so far, everyone? 5 down, is that correct? Or my HA is at -5. So let's go to -5. Okay. Next, we need a VA. So what do we do, everyone? Set this equal to 0. Plus 64 plus 64. X squared equals 64. How do we cancel that squared? Well, take the square root. X equals plus minus what? 8. That is correct. So let me rewrite this whole thing. G of X equals 1 over X plus 8 and X minus 8. Bless you. All right, tell your neighbor what to do from there. Then Miguel's going to enlighten us. What do we do from there? All right, Miguel. Okay, but what do we do with this? How do we graph them? Very good. Set them equal to 0 and solve. Very good. So, -8, x equals -8. That's my first VA at -8 over here. How about this one? +8 plus 8, x equals 8. That's my other VA, which is way over here. How we doing? Good? All right. And now, how do we graph this point? Look up. Let me start with this one. Well, follow the vertical asymptote, and here's my horizontal, my vertical and horizontal right here. So my first point is going to be right here. Yes? Next, how do I graph this one? Well, I go over here to the other vertical, and I go one up, one to the left. There it is. And what do we do with this gap in between, everyone? There you go. From 1 to 5, I'll comfortable you with E so far. Where are we at? 4, 4, 4, 5. Okay, a lot better. Let me send you a screen so you can send me your notes. All right, do one by yourself. There it is. Example 4 super Q. Copy that one. Example 4 super Q. G of X equals 1 over X squared minus 25 plus 1. Let's see how you do with that one completely.